Hello everybody, a very good morning to you all and welcome back to my live streams in a slightly different environment than I'm usually in. And I'd like to start off by apologising to those who thought I was going to be live 3 hours ago, but my laptop was still on to the Dubai time. So everyone thought I was going to be on at 6 a.m. It was actually 9 a.m. for me, so I do apologise about that. And I hope everyone is doing well and enjoyed the week in the markets. I actually had, for the first time in well over a year, I had a complete shut off from the markets. I didn't even really check the price of what was going on. Okay, there was one day where I did, because obviously things escalated over in the Middle East and there was big moves. So it was typical that was the week that I had the break. But you can't pick and choose that, and it is always important as traders to take a break away from the markets and come back with a fresh, clear mindset. So first of all, I just want to check. Could you just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me okay? Because I'm in a slightly different setup. I've only got I've got my sort of portable mic on me. Yeah, so I've had to set it all back up on OBS. So just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay, and then we'll be good to go. And I'll get straight into really what I've missed. So I deliberately yesterday I did start work yesterday, and I obviously did check the market moves, but I've deliberately not really changed much of the analysis that I had from the week before, not last week, the week before when I was streaming, because I wanted to really see how we're getting on and do my analysis in front of you. You know, top to bottom, the markets that you want to look at. I want to do like a fresh analysis on them. It's only been a week, you know, things don't move too quickly, but there has obviously been some changes that we want to talk through today. And more importantly, thank you very much. Thanks, chat. I appreciate that. More importantly, as well, what's important to let you guys know is today is double the prizes. So I was off last week, and I said to the people above me, look, no, there was no prizes last week, and these guys need their prizes. So is it possible that we can do double the prizes for the streams that I missed? And they said yes. So today you will get two chances to win a $10,000 Atmos funded challenge and two chances to win a 50% deposit bonus, which is really exciting. So I will be drawing out 4 winners today. So if you are around on the stream, make sure you stick around to the end, because it's double the chance to win. So I'm giving away double the prizes, of course. So that's really good. Hello to those on the chat. Good to see you all. Hope you are all doing well. Let me just quickly go through some of the people that we have here today. For some of you who watch my streams for quite some time, you probably recognise this background. This is where it all started for me before I moved out. So I'm back home visiting my family. It was my birthday last week, so I had some nice time off. Hello to you, What the Nasdi, Lara, Mosa, good to see you, Piyush, Elijah, good to see you as well. Thank you very much. T minus, good morning to you, sir. I hope you're doing well and you're not too hungover from your festival on the weekend. Daniel, hello to you. Good to see you. I had some good time off. Thank you very much. BK Trading, hello to you as well. Good to see you. Daniel, again, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. We've got 3 Dans in this chat. So we need to think of a nickname for you all. Hello to you. Enough Raj, good to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much for the kind messages. I look darker. I've caught, funnily enough, I've caught more of a tan here in the UK than I have in Dubai. The weather's been really nice. I've actually had to shut the curtains a little bit because it was coming straight in. So pretty much last week I had a complete rest, and I pretty much was drinking and eating for a week. So that's probably why I've got a little bit of a tan. Good to see you all. Who else have we got? Fatai, hello to you. Good to see you. Mohammed, good to see you as well. Anima Sean, hello. Hope you're doing well. We've got loads of people on the chat today, which is great. Mark 022, Anakia as well. Daniel again. We've got another Daniel. Daniel Reynolds, hello to you. Kirkton's come in. Hope you're doing well, Kirkton. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you are doing well. Markets are very weird these days. Gold is moving inside the 4-hour demand zone. I'll take a look at that. MKK, no problem. if we've got a gold demand zone, I'm very interested in that, especially with everything that's going on. Jake, hello to you, sir. Hope you're doing well, mate, and thank you very much for tuning in. I'm back in the UK for this stream and for tomorrow's stream, and next week I'll be back. First time here and a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. If you do subscribe to the channel, then you do get double the chance to win. The bot that I have that does the random draw for the prizes, if you're a subscriber, I've put a 2 times multiplier on your chances to win. So make sure you do that. Thank you very much. Okay, so when I have a break from the markets, it's a bit weird for me because this is a proper break. What people were asking me, what do you do when you have a break? I pretty much just try and take things like market by market and try and do a bit of like a top-down approach. Obviously the first thing that I didn't really want to wake up to or find out last week was obviously the massive escalation over in the Middle East with Iran and Israel. And yeah, I don't really like covering these sorts of things. I don't talk about holding sides or anything like that. I just talk about it from a market's point of view, but I always feel a little bit guilty like talking about it because in terms of like opportunity, because I'd rather there not be opportunity and there be no war, if I'm being honest. But obviously we do have escalation over in the Middle East, and I'm sure everyone knows about that. Just to give you an update of what's been going on, there's been some optimism between Iran hinting that they would enter sort of negotiation talks, but it's the same as like when we saw Russia Putin saying that we would enter negotiation talks, but only if they surrender or only if they stop doing this. So at the moment, the sides I think are quite far away from negotiating. So Tehran's message to neighbours is that it will not negotiate over a nuclear program whilst they're currently under attack. So all the time whilst Israel are bombing Iran, and they're not going to enter anything, and the same probably the other way around. So, but that optimism, and things are messy. Things are really, really messy, and that optimism, I would say, is like hanging by a thread. Really, there's not anything really that I would say yet that I'm particularly confident about. But let's just talk quickly in terms of like people sometimes get confused. What does this mean for markets? Typically, when you talk about war, especially war in these Middle East countries, which are very oil-rich companies, we've seen that some of the attacks have been targeting gas and oil facilities. As a result, that threatens the supply of that commodity. And typically what we see is higher commodity prices. So we see higher gold prices because gold is seen as a safe haven, right? That's why we probably saw gold rally a little bit. And we'll touch on gold. Oh, the first market I'll analyze is gold, because someone in the chat has said that we are currently in a demand zone, so I want to check that out. And the other market, which obviously tends to rally in this sort of time, is the oil market, because of the threat of lower supply. When you have lower supply of something, typically the price goes up. So let's just touch on that quickly. And as you can see, this is my oil chart from a couple of weeks ago. This is the same chart. So as you know, when we saw this all start to kick off somewhat, we can see oil rallied quite significantly and retraced all the way back down to where it started to rally from, and is now starting to be on its way higher. I personally don't think that we are close to this being de-escalated, and therefore for me, I think oil will remain bullish in these times, but it will be very, very choppy. Okay, so my advice to you would be, if you do manage to get into some profit on oil, make sure you look to book some of that profit. Going back to the analysis, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck in the markets, right? Who remembers this? Fair value gap here, break out above the fair value gap, retest, and then look how much higher we went. Oh, we've got an alarm going off. There we go. And look how much higher we went. So I think when I tag this potential opportunity, if you did manage to get involved, so that would have been tagged in the 7th of May, you'd have held oil longs for a month, but you would have been paid for it quite handsomely. 2% risk here on a 4-hour fair value gap, nearly 5 to 1, nearly 10% profit. So that's pretty good, right? Let me just read some of the chat. Let me just check some of the market requests that we've had, and then I'll look through those. So let's have a look. So I'm going to do gold now because obviously that links to what's been going on at the moment. Been running the trend rider on all CCY pairs and XAU and silver to see which ones work best. Let me know how you get on with that, Daniel. I'm interested to see how the trend rider works on that. I'm actually currently live in a trend rider trade on USD CAD, which I want to talk about today as well. Fatai wants me to look at USD yen, which I will do. Mosa, I need your opinion on gold swings this week, if it's safe or if we should stick to daily targets. Yeah, I'll look at gold in just a second. Daniel, USD CAD is still running Euro GBP, so let's see, stopped out of pound Australian dollar and pound New Zealand dollar. Yeah, USD CAD I'm still in. I don't trade the trend rider on any of the minor pairs, but I'll take a look at that for you. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Hope peace will be upon all. I agree with that completely. Managing risk is very important, especially in these times, 100%. Please can you check CAD, yen and GBP CAD? Oil is going down. And Laura's happy birthday, thanks. My birthday was on the 9th of June, so thank you very much. So yeah, okay, let's look at gold then. Someone has told me that gold is in a 4-hour demand zone, so I want to just see if that's the case. By the way, look at this. This is the first time I've loaded up a gold chart. The first time. Fair value gap, beautiful. Another one, filled, again run higher, and now we're trading up here. This is sometimes what I do, by the way, if my analysis is out of date, as you can quite clearly see it is. I just right click on trading view and I just remove everything and just look at things with a completely fresh head. So if we zoom out here and we look at gold, obviously we're in a bullish trend. It doesn't take much of a genius to work that out. And I know that, actually I don't want to delete all of them. Can I go back? I want to leave some of them in because these fair value gaps here, now they've all been filled. We shouldn't be worried too much. Look at that one as well. For those of you who wonder if fair value gaps work, look at the one I tagged last week. That is beautiful. Look at that. Okay, so now we've reacted from that one. This should be like, and that's that 3,003. Oh no, I missed it. Ah man, it was when I was off, so I missed that. But let's have a look at where we are now. Okay. I don't see a demand zone in here. I don't see a very clean one. I might have to drop down onto a lower time frame here. I'll tell you where I do see one. Down at 3332. Now that is a really nice demand zone. And we've got liquidity sitting here. I'll just call that internal liquidity. So there's our liquidity. Bit of a imbalance in here as well. Straight into our demand zone. I would look for something like this. People may be on the chat thinking, yeah, but are we going to fall from 3386 down to 3332? Potentially. I mean, it is quite far away, but I don't see, if I zoom in on what we see currently, we had probably a 1-hour zone in here, which we already reacted from yesterday, and then we come and swept all of this liquidity. So for me, there's two trades here on gold. The first one is one that I'm not as confident in, which would look like this. Okay, 6.2 to 1. Now, I'm personally not going to place that trade. The reason is because I think this is more of a stable, solid play. remember when we were trading all the way up here in gold, 3,400, etc. And I told everyone, wait for 3,300. And people probably thought, well, we're not going to go that far. Well, look, from the 5th of June to the 6th, it only took a day. It took one day. Patience is always key in these markets. I'd rather wait for even if I missed the trade, I would rather wait for a clean area of entry. And for me, that would be down here. So that would be my personal gold trade idea for today. That one is definitely higher risk. This one is my more solid play. Obviously, you're going to get better risk reward. And for the guy who asked in the chat about whether it's safe to sort of, I would always just try and target the key daily highs. Like we took out this one, and I think now we could probably aim for this one up here at 3,450. With everything that's going on, with the uncertainty that's around, it's hard to be bearish on gold. Okay, however, I wouldn't look to buy it at the current price it's at. I would with low confidence, with low risk at this demand zone. I prefer to wait for this one. Okay. Let me just read what someone has just said in the chats. Why is it not showing me the full chat? Oh, thank you very much. Big Man, the General Flex, has said that I've been testing spreads out here. Even the leverage in Atmos is the best. Superb. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Nice one. Very, very kind. If you are looking to open up an Atmos account, then just head over to atmosfunded.com, or you can open a Taurex account at tradetaurex.com. Either one of those. We've got both options ready, and we're starting our trading competition soon as well. So lots of things going on. It's trying to keep up to date with everything. You have a week off and suddenly it's like you've missed everything. So that would be my idea for gold, and that sort of ties in with the nature of the uncertainty that's going on over in the Middle East and the escalation there, which I think will continue to keep gold prices high. But we will get wild swings in this environment because it's something new. We don't know. There might be one day where there's peace talks coming and then suddenly gold will fall, but then they attack overnight and suddenly gold will rise. It's going to be a little bit like that, unfortunately. Big Man General Flex, gold is kind of shedding short term, then we'll create a new high. Yeah, and hopefully that selling the short term gets me down to that area. So what I'm going to do for everyone today is I'm going to put this idea I'm going to take a picture of it, and I'm going to drop that in the Discord channels that we've got here. Where is the Discord channel? Here it is. And I'm going to put that in trade ideas as my first one. My gold. From the stream. There we are. I'll put that in the trade ideas section. If you're not in the Discord channel, check the description of the video and you will be able to get access to those Discord channels. I'm active in both, so whatever one you want to join. My gold long from. There we go, people. There we go. Right. Let's have a look at some of the opinions we've got coming through from some of the chat. Oil will drop. What I've been seeing, oil will drop structures of the market and news in and Midi supports. Exactly, uncertainty. Positive news for gold happened near all-time highs. I didn't find the climb with the Iran Israel situation feel fully, so I anticipate a retracement. Yes, same as me, and that's why I don't like this one just yet. I don't like it. Okay, cool. Right. Let's have a look now then at some of the Forex pairs that people have decided to put in. The first one I saw was USD Yen. So a reason I want to talk about USD Yen today is obviously because if you don't know, we just had the Bank of Japan interest rate decision overnight for me. And the Bank of Japan decided to hold rates at the 0.5%. So decided to no hikes. But what's interesting is to hear some of the language that was used. So let me just read some of the things here. So the bank just summarize some of the points they said. I don't know if it's going to let me view this. Is it on X? Yes, it is. Here we go. So Bank of Japan to reduce the amount of monthly JGB purchases, so it'll be about 2 trillion yen in January. To leave unchanged existing bond taper plan running through March, long-term interest rates are to be formed in markets appropriate for the Bank of Japan to reduce the bond buying amount in predictable manners, while allowing enough flexibility to support market stability. They will conduct an interim assessment of bond taper plan for April 2026 onward at June 2026 policy meeting, and will respond in case of rapid rise in long-term interest rates, such as by increasing bond buying, conducting fixed rate bond purchase operations using fund supply operations against pooled collateral. Prepared to amend the bond taper plan at future policy meetings, and will announce the bond taper plan for April 2027 and onwards at the policy meeting next June. That was the main takeaways from there. Inflation expectations have risen moderately. Effects of the past rise in import prices and of the recent rise in food prices are expected to wane. Front loading observed in production exports. Okay. Looks like they is this for me that just check. Yeah, I was going to say a slightly weaker outlook there for the Japanese yen, which makes me think that, I mean, it's not my favorite thing to do in the world is to buy dollar yen. The reason is because if we have a look at the current price we see, we're sort of stuck. Now, I hold the bearish view on dollar yen all the time whilst we see this. So we'll break down below the recent this mini uptrend that we saw. I'm not a huge fan of trend lines. I always say that, then I end up using them, but sometimes they work really well. Look at this, break down below, come up and test it up here. Look at the reaction. So all the time we trade below this high, this is the high for me of where we say bearish to bullish. So all the time we trade below this high, all the time we trade below 146.3, I maintain a bearish stance on dollar yen. Does that mean we can potentially get an opportunity on dollar yen? Well, let's just take a quick look at the trend rider. It's one of my strategies that I use on dollar pairs. Oh, look at dollar CAD. I want to talk about that as well because I'm actually actively in dollar CAD. Dollar yen, 4 hour. And that messy price action that's happening below this low is really evident with these moving averages, because you can see them constantly crossing above, below, and the ADX is down at 16. And just to let you know what that means this market is not trending at all. So we're basically just ranging between this low, and this high. And where are we at the moment? Right smack bang in the middle of it. So for me right now, for the person who wanted me to look at dollar yen and anyone else who's looking at dollar yen, it is not in a tradable state for me. I don't trade range in markets, and if I do trade range in markets, I don't trade the middle of the range. That's just a rule that I have, okay? So at the moment, I'm going to leave this one alone. I said I'm leaning towards the bearish side all the time we trade below this low up here. But I am wary of the fact that we have created, if you look at this move we saw here, this is basically what we're seeing. Support down at 143 on quite a few occasions, probably resistance up at 145. The smart play for me would be now to wait for let's have a look. Wait for break above supply, retest higher, or break below resistance. Sorry, break above the resistance, test of it higher or break below the support, test of it and lower. That's how I would play dollar yen. The head and shoulders, yeah, what here? It's probably going to get a bit messy. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that marries up really nicely, doesn't it? Because look, that head and shoulders neckline is pretty much coming in line where this support is at the moment. So if this breaks, a quick test of 142, boom, we are in. That is exactly how I'd play. That's exactly how I would play dollar yen. And it's contracting into a triangle as well. I'm waiting for the breakout. Keep your eyes on this one, guys, because this one could move. This one could move, but just not yet. Be patient. Okay. Was there any other markets that people said? There's a lot of chat, so let me just scroll up. Yeah, there we go. Right, so I'll look at the other USD pair. Where's USD CAD? Here it is. USD CAD. So here we are, people. I'm currently the only trade I've actually got. Let's check my phone actually. The only trade I've currently got active is I'm short USD CAD and I'm long euro dollar. I just want to show you if you can see that. There we are, people. So basically I was short dollar CAD. I had a couple of entries here. One entry was here on the trend rider. The other one was down here on the trend rider. Both of them running really nicely. Currently £3,000 in profit, which is about just under 4.5%, 4.2% or something. So I'm really happy with that. And I'm going to continue to hold it because this is just a beautiful downtrend. And this is where the trend rider works really well. So you do get losses on the trend rider. I'm currently in the midst of sort of testing it. I really want to see like how it's performed over the last 5 years. But I know that if you can catch on to a trend quite early, like for example, imagine you entered there, you'd have been running the trend all the way down. But obviously I'm happy with where I entered. And then I just want to quickly tell you that I'm long on euro dollar. Why am I long on euro dollar? Well, because I'm bearish on the dollar still. But you can see right on this red line here is where I entered. So I'm sort of grinding into profit. So I think I had one entry that was here and one entry that was there. So I will continue to monitor those trades and then update the trading journal as we go. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So we'll see how that goes. Let me just check. So my SL at that, because I always move my SL to entry at 1-to-1. So I'm currently SL at entry on all those trades. But in terms of what I expect in the future, I like the fact you can see that we're seeing this red line, which is our EMA 12. We can see that really acting as support, and we're seeing rejections around it, which is great. And I believe that euro dollar is going higher. Okay, so I was about to sneeze there, but I'm good. Yes, by the way, Big Man General Flex, if commenting once or commenting 20,000 times doesn't make a difference. Okay, so if you comment once, win, you'll be entered. Look, I'll show you. You can see that it doesn't enter you multiple times. As soon as you comment it once, it will enter you into the draw, I promise. Currently got 77 entries. Just to let you know that, okay? You might have thought that commenting win extra times counts, but it doesn't. Okay, people, okay, right. Other markets that people wanted me to cover. Right, we're half an hour into this stream. Wow, that's gone quick. Okay, drop any markets you want me to cover now in the chat. Give me some markets and I'll cover them. Whilst you give me those markets, I just want to quickly point you in the direction of the economic calendar because it's very, very important. And I'm using the Taurex Plus tools. I know a few people that have been on the streams have come on to our Taurex Plus tools. You've got an AI news sentiment. You have an economic calendar, which I use quite a lot. You can see you have a featured trade ideas, literally with like explanation on everything as well. The great thing about these tools, you can see these here, you get economic insights, which is great. So like it's like another trade, it's like another calendar basically, but you actually get insights into it as well. You can see like the general theme of what's happened, the volatility over the last sort of like typically what happens 4 hours after the event or 1 hour after the event. And then you get Swissat as well, which is like an account analyzer tool. So if you're interested in like knowing how you've performed, this software that we've got basically, you place all your trades as normal. It will put all your trades into this software and it will churn out all of your like what you typically tend to do, and basically like assess you. It's like a expert trading journal, should we say. You can get access to this on the tradetaurex.com website. Head over to the trading tools. It's called Taurex Plus. Oh. The great thing about this is you get access to it for free with a Taurex account, and I think you can get a trial as well. If anyone's interested in that, you can head straight over to the website, or actually I'm in the UK, so it wasn't let me do it, and or you can message me on Discord, and I'll point you in the right direction, and maybe even be able to get you a bit of a discount on that as well. So let me know. Here we go. Right, I've got things coming through. Here we go. Euro Australian dollar nice buy, setting up line up daily FVG and the 61.8 level. Let me get off the trend rider, back to my normal layouts. Bitcoin I'll take a look at, no problem. Yes, the tools are free when you have a Taurex live account, and I believe you get a free trial as well. Even if you don't have a Taurex account, I think you get a free trial, but you do need to download them you can download them onto your once you've got a Taurex account, you can actually download all of those tools onto your MT5 platform as well, so you don't even need to be on a separate thing. So Bitcoin, so we got Euro Australian dollar, Euro CAD, Bitcoin. How much do I risk per trade? I risk 2% on the 4 hour or the daily, 1% on the hourly. Sometimes I'll venture down onto the 5 minute and 15 minute. If I do, it's like 0.25% or 0.5%. And I don't use the fixed lot size now. I use percentage risk of my account. So whatever 1% of my account is, I'll use a lot size calculator, and that will determine my lot size. And I'll take a look at silver as well. Let's take a look at the first one. What was it? Euro ED. Right, let's have a look. Nice breakout there. So let's first of all talk about the fib. There's what you're talking about, the 61.8. Okay, I get that. We did break below it though, but okay, let's just talk. Let's just leave it for now. That, I think for me, that looks like the buy. Here. That looks like a great buy. So instantly, that's what I would do. Personally, that's what I would do. But I'm just reading what you said there. Yeah, and the FEG, the thing is, Daniel, the FEG as well is a little bit, like you've got an FEG in here as well. So it's the same as what gold was like. It's like there's two buying opportunities that I see here. The first one is literally, as you said, where we are now. So what you could do is you could see, do we get a reaction? Do we get a break of structure on the lower time frames? If we do, you could potentially enter. Or what I would prefer to do, especially because it's not a pair that I trade, and I got caught out doing that on pound Australian dollar the other day. I'd probably wait for this area at 1.75. That's what I would do. There was another market there, Euro-CAD. Ugh, that is a mess. Look at the daily. I see so many like beginner traders get caught out here because like when they go onto the 5 minute, they're like they zoom in and they're like, oh wow, look at this, like it's really trending, like let's get into a trade. But they fail to look at the higher time frames. Right now, these higher time frames are an absolute mess. Obviously, when I zoom out on everything for Euro-CAD, when I look at that, just so I go, right, what do I see? The first thing I see, what word comes into my mind when I look at that chart? It says buy. I wouldn't buy it because I'm in a Euro-CAD short, a USD-CAD short anyway. But if I was going to buy it, okay, potentially you can see there was an explosion higher in the euro against the Canadian dollar, and it started pretty much where we are here now. So I'd maybe look for something like that. But again, nice reaction there as well. I'm dropping down the time frames because I'm getting desperate. So this isn't really in a position for me to trade, but I would probably lean towards buying. But you can see I don't trade that. That looks like a mess to me. Yeah, a bit of a mess. I think you'll get cleaner setups elsewhere. Okay, to be fair, we haven't actually really had a look at like it's been a lot of Forex today, which is fine. It's just fine. Crypto. We've got a stream tomorrow as well, so I can cover the rest of the things as well. Look at Bitcoin, people. Trading up at 106. Nice breakout we had there back in April. Still maintain that bullish view. Drop down to the 4 hour. All of this was sort of broke. Look at all of that. Look at that massive liquidity sweep below all these demand zones, and then it trades higher, which is typical. Let's just remove this and start fresh. What do I see? Again, I see a market which is generally in like a consolidation phase between this 100,000 and 110,000. And again, when you look at Bitcoin and you say, right, here's 100,000, look at the liquidity sweep, always the way. And here's the high of that range. So for me, and then you look where we are right now, literally in the middle of the range. So again, Bitcoin isn't really in an area to trade. I don't actually actively trade Bitcoin anyway personally, but I know other people do. My suggestions to people who are trading that, I believe that we would be coming up to take out this high at some point, because we can see we swept 100,000. We didn't even sweep it actually. We only got to 100.3. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I don't like it at all. I do apologise. I don't like the look of Bitcoin at all. It's the same sort of thing. Like we're trading in the middle of this range, so just be very careful. Obviously, we are bullish on the higher time frames when you look at the trend. So therefore, we should expect Bitcoin to make a move up to 112. But I wouldn't look to execute that sort of play until we got into a discounted area, which for me probably looks like that. What type of RR is the best in your point of view? I mean, I don't have a problem with anyone using risk reward as long as it's above 1-to-1. Because I like to be in a position where I can lose more trades than I win, but still make profit. And the only way you can do that is if you have a risk reward ratio which is greater than 1-to-1, preferably greater than 2-to-1 as a minimum is what I like to do. I don't aim for a fixed RR. I aim for the high, or I aim for an imbalance, or I aim for a gap. If it's 2-to-1, great. If it's under 2-to-1, I probably wouldn't execute. But if it's 10-to-1, even better. That's the way that I tend to do it. The way that I manage my risk in the trade is that if I get to 1-to-1 risk reward, then I close half the position. If I get to 2-to-1 risk reward, I like move my stop loss to entry. So I have a plan. No matter what the risk reward is, my plan is the same. Well said, Trader Bina. Yeah, so for me, big man general flex, mid ranges are just like a no go. Some people like to trade ranges, like, and the way that I would trade it if it was me would be wait for to get to either the premium area of the range to sell or the discounted area of the range to buy. Simple. Ranges are simple when you think about it. They just ping pong between two bits. So you buy low and you sell high. That's what you do in ranges. Should we do the live? Should we do the should we do the draw? Let's have a look at AED USD first though, because I want to make sure I cover everyone's requests before we do the. We're going to do the live draw very, very soon, people. Remember, there's going to be 4 prizes. We're going to do 4 lots of live drawing. Look at that. That is odd. That is such odd price action, isn't it? That's just a complete grind to the upside. If we actually mark that, jeez. Wow. I don't remember the last time I saw such a like extended period of like grinding price action high, especially in the forex pairs. But can see that we are continuing to make marginal highs. Um, I remain bearish on the US dollar, but I have already got my risk in the euro and the Canadian dollar. But typically, I mean, how would you even begin to trade that? Probably like this, and just continue to try and play the grind. But I imagine that a lot of people will be in a lot of pain trying to trade this because you're like in profit, then you're out, then you're in, then you're out. So unless you got in early enough, it's quite a difficult one. The next area for me would probably be down 0.65, but again, I think euro dollar looks much better to the upside. Dollar CAD looks much better to the downside. It's all about picking the right pairs. So like, I always try and choose the ones that's obviously trending the strongest. Simple. The ones that look messy, I just sort of skip by for now. Big man, yeah. Buying high, buying low, and yes, buying low and high. Thank you for giving the logic. No problem. Slight sarcasm in there, I feel, but I meant it in ranges. Okay, only really if you've got a demand zone at the top and a supply zone at the bottom. And silver, sorry, yeah, silver, yeah. So what's this big breakout in silver everyone's going on about? Everyone's saying that we're going to see a big breakout in silver. GJ, yes, no problem. I'll have a look at GJ. We actually are getting a big breakout. Look at that fake out below that trend line. The old trend line traders would have been very annoyed there. That's a really nice breakout. Okay. I mean, I bet you any money this is a good trend, a good trend rider trade. It's not designed for metals. I know there's some people testing it for my behalf, but yeah, oh no, it's not actually that good to be honest. You can see they're coming together. Yeah, I mean, this does look like it's threatening a breakout. There isn't really, I mean, what are you meant to do about that? That is horrible price action. You would have to drop down the time frames to trade silver, in my opinion. I think gold looks much better, but I understand like people are basically saying that gold has gone so far and silver's lagged behind a bit. But that could mean that there's general weakness in the silver market. So if gold falls a little bit, silver might fall a lot. But you can see a brief pause here, and yeah, I mean, I do believe we will be going higher here on silver, but at the moment I prefer to buy gold. My main time frame is the 4 hour on the daily, basically, trade arena. So if The 4 hour and the daily look really messy. I tend to not really bother. Obviously for the purpose of the streams and stuff, people want me to have a look at particular markets, then I will have a look at them. And GJ. Actually, when you think about what we heard earlier from the Bank of Japan, I like, who was it who said GJ? Alicia. I like that. Because I was looking at dollar yen upside and thinking, but I'm bearish on the dollar. Still am bearish on the dollar. I said that for quite some time and it's working out nicely. But the pound yen, on the other hand, well, that's slightly different. Although the daily price action is slightly messy, you can see typically these highs here we actually had a candle closure. If I zoom right in, we actually had a candle closure above it, above these highs. So I quite like the idea of pound yen to the upside. Now, what do I see when I move down? There is some slight imbalance here, which is yet to be filled. So I'm going to give you two scenarios again, like I always do. I think from where we are right now isn't an awful. Oh, actually, we've got a gap there. Oh, hello, people. We have a gap. Oh, you can see we've already tested it though. Okay. We can already see that was the buy. That was the buy. However, if we do come back down to the beginning of that move, where this breakout started was here. So I'll probably look for something that looks like that. Again, this is a shorter time frame trade. I prefer. No, I like it. I actually do like it, to be honest. But it would be a 0.5% risk trade for me. That's what I do. How long typically do you hold your position open? Anywhere between 1 day and 1 month. This dollar CAD, US, sorry, this dollar CAD trade, I entered that on the 3rd of June. Is that right? Yeah, the 3rd of June. So that was 2 weeks ago. So I don't mind holding trades for a long time. You do get a little bit eaten up by spreads, by swaps sometimes if you're on negative swaps on a particular pair. But that's just the way I trade. So that's what I do. Okay, people, right. We have covered pretty much everything. Tomorrow, I'm going to cover the interest rate decision from the Federal Reserve and break down everything that you need to know. We'll look at US markets, we'll look at gold, we'll look at dollar, all the possible scenarios from tomorrow's big event because it's going to be massive. So make sure you tune into tomorrow's stream. I'm now going to do the live draw for the winners and I'm going to show you as I'm doing it. So remember, I'm giving away 4 prizes today. 2 $10,000 Atmos challenges and 2 50% deposit bonuses into Taurex. We're going to draw out one at a time. So we're going to do Atmos, Taurex, Atmos, Taurex. So the first winner, remember, if you win, please drop your Discord username on the live chat whilst I'm live or after I finish going live. Some people watch it on catch up. Drop it in the comment section and I'll give you a message. Okay? So good luck to those who are participating today. I've got my fingers crossed. This is for a $10,000 Atmos challenge. And our first winner is Daniel. Daniel, well done. Congratulations to you, Daniel. You have won our first prize, which is a $10,000 Atmos challenge. Terms and conditions do apply. I will send them to you after. The second winner, which is our 50% deposit bonus, is going to be Shrikant Kadam. Congratulations to you. You have just won a 50% deposit bonus into Taurex. So if you deposited, say, $250 into Taurex, we're going to give you $125 free on top of that. So you can trade the bonus if you want. So congratulations to you. Okay, third winner. 10,000 Atmos challenge is going to Agronia sorry, I can't pronounce the surname. Makasa. Congratulations to you. It's the Daniel which it's just Daniel. So I know you're going to say which Daniel because there's a few on there. It's not you. It's the one whose username is just Daniel because it says the username of the YouTube. Okay. Agonia, you have won a $10,000 Atmos funded challenge, and our fourth winner is Amna Kashif. You have won a 50% deposit bonus into Taurex. Well done to you. Amazing, amazing stuff. Not a bad start to the week. Really, if you've won any of those prizes, and especially obviously if you won the Atmos challenge, you can try and get funded straight away. Okay, so what I need to get now from people, I've already got it from Daniel. Nice one. Very, very good. And the good news is tomorrow we're doing exactly the same thing. And between us, I'm going to try and get some bigger prizes at some point. If we can get these streams up to like 500 views, if we can get these streams up to like 1,000 views, 500 views, then I can try and make the prizes bigger. So run it up and send it to your friends. Follow me on social media as well at Connorwoods Trading. If you follow me on there, doesn't let me put. If you follow me, Connorwoods Trading is my username on Instagram and on TikTok. Follow me on there if you like content that's going out all the time. And also some good news as well is that I'm working on the academy. I'm going to do one-to-one coaching. I'm going to have a whole service that people can access if they want. So obviously for my premium clients, they're going to get access to one-to-one trading. I'm going to give access to the course for those who are just part of the standard community. And I'm working on that, and hopefully that's going to be done this summer as well. So I'm really, really excited to that. Okay, thank you very much to those who joined. Please make sure those winners send me on the comment section your Discord usernames. I hope everyone has a fantastic trading day. We covered a lot there, and tomorrow I'll be back. I'll be back slightly later tomorrow. I'm going to come on the US session because I think it's going to be a busy one, so a few hours later than usual. Check the stream link on the Discord channel for the time that I'll be coming live. But it'll be 2:30 UK time, right on that US session open. Thank you very much to those who tuned in. Take care. Trade well. Trade safe. Sorry, I just got another username come through. Trade well. Trade safe. And yeah, I will see you all for tomorrow. Thank you.